The Battle of the Wilderness was one of the most complex and important battles of the Civil War. The first time Grant meets Lee, the start of the Overland Campaign that ends in Lee's defeat at Appomattox. Last year, 2021, John Reeves published a book about the battle. Very interesting book. Title, A Fire in the Wilderness. Reeves treats the battle and narrates the entire battle, but I would have to say in a somewhat cursory way. However, he does include all the major events that took place in the battle, including Longstreet's wounding on day 2 and Grant's decision at the end of day 2 to move the Army of the Potomac further south. But a narrative of the battle is not really this author's interest. What he does is he focuses mainly on 3 personalities: General Gouverneur Warren, a Union Corps commander; General Wadsworth, a Union Division commander; and Private William Reeves, a man who served under both Warren and Wadsworth. Now, Private Reeves is the vehicle that he uses to get into the 3 topics that he's most concerned with. His topics were how the Civil War draft actually operated. And Private Reeves was a draft substitute who accepted $300 and found himself in the Army of the Potomac and at this battle. He's interested in the medical treatment of the wounded on the Union side, and Private Reeves was seriously injured on day 1 of the battle. And finally, he's interested in how fallen soldiers were treated at that point in the Civil War. And unfortunately, Private Reeves died several days after the battle and was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. It's possible to criticize this book on several grounds. One is that its treatment of the battle itself is a little on the sketchy side. You could criticize it for its predominant focus on the Union. And third is the absence of detailed maps describing what was happening during the battle. Now, I think the first 2 of those criticisms are unwarranted, since the author's intention, as he says at the end of the book, was not to present a purely military history of the battle. So on his terms, I think the book did exactly what it wanted to do. I think the absence of maps is one that I particularly share. I happen to need a map to understand the battle. Now, I'm a casual student of the Civil War, no more than that. And I thought this book did 2 pretty valuable things. One is it really kind of fleshed out my understanding of the 3 main topics that the author pursues: the draft, medical care, and the treatment of the fallen. So it's good on that basis. And the other thing I thought that it did that was valuable is it prompted my further interest in understanding a purely military history of the battle. And in particular, I'm interested in how precisely did Grant manage to bend the Army of the Potomac to his will. So the book, A Fire in the Wilderness, the author, John Reeves, I'm happy to recommend it.